ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jenny Media, your trusted source for the latest news and updates. I'm Jennifer, and I am thrilled to be your host for tonight's broadcast. As we delve into the stories that matter most, we aim to keep you informed, engaged, and inspired. So, without further ado, let's dive into the world of news and discover what's happening around us. James, I'm now passing the torch to you to bring us today's top story. Please take it away and enlighten our viewers with the latest updates.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that warm welcome. I'm excited to share the day's top story with our viewers and keep them informed.
U.S. weapons and equipment, including American howitzers and Bradley fighting vehicles, are helping Ukraine.
Meantime, Ukrainian forces say weapons from the U.S. and other Western countries.
Let's move on now. The Pentagon has overvalued U.S. equipment it sent to Ukraine.
The U.S. and its European allies have actually been supporting Ukraine with diplomatic stress, economic assent, and army aid. They have actually supplied Ukraine with tools, ammunition, equipment, training, and knowledge. These aids have actually aided Ukraine in installing an aggressive resistance that has left the Russian forces looking unskilled. Nonetheless, the war is entering into a new stage as Ukraine is currently lacking ammo. To remedy this, the U.S. has just made a crazy action that nobody observed, an action that might change the course of the battle and have serious legal effects. So what has the U.S. done? How will it affect the outcome of the battle? Join us as we discuss exactly how the Pentagon simply made an insane move that nobody noticed. Ukraine is facing a significant scarcity of ammunition as it remains to battle against Russian hostility. The scenario has actually become increasingly dire in current months, with Russia bolstering its military presence near the boundary and Ukraine relying upon its very own pressures and volunteer fighters to shield its territory and sovereignty. Nonetheless, Ukraine's capacity to safeguard itself is seriously prevented by a lack of appropriate ammunition, especially weapons shells. These shells are crucial for Ukraine's protection technique, as they can cause significant damage to enemy containers, cars, and personnel from a range. Although Ukraine has a huge supply of Soviet-era weapon systems, which are still useful regardless of being obsolete, they call for a considerable amount of ammunition that Ukraine is swiftly lacking. Ukraine has actually been receiving weapons and ammo from the U.S. and its European allies, but the supply is not nearly enough to meet the demand. The U.S. and Europe are battling to ramp up manufacturing and delivery of even more ammo to Ukraine. However, it will certainly take some time and cash. The U.S. has pledged to offer $60 million worth of weapons and equipment to Ukraine, consisting of Javelin anti-tank missiles. Nevertheless, these projectiles are not really useful versus Russia's advanced air defense systems. Europe has likewise assured to enhance its assistance for Ukraine, however, it encounters political and logistical difficulties in doing so. In the meantime, Ukraine is trying to preserve its ammunition by rationing shells, reusing unexploded bombs, and making use of 3D printers to make small artilleries. The ammunition's lack is a significant obstacle for Ukraine, as it can influence its ability to stand up to Russia's aggression and safeguard its sovereignty. The USA has taken a contentious action in the middle of recurring tensions by sending a big delivery of Iranian weapons and ammunition to Ukraine to improve its defense capabilities versus Russian hostility. The U.S. Navy obstructed the Iranian cargo in March, which was en route to Yemen, where Iran backs the Houthi rebels. The seized cargo consisted of 1 million rounds of ammunition, countless rocket-propelled grenade merges, and countless extra pounds of propellant. The United States federal government gained possession of these artilleries on July 20, 2023, through the Department of Justice's civil loss insurance claims versus Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC. The U.S. Central Command has actually already delivered over 1 million rounds of confiscated Iranian ammo to the Ukrainian military, which is facing extreme scarcities of equipment and funds. The United States and its allies have actually promised to offer added support to Ukraine, which has actually been involved in a conflict with separatists backed by Russia since 2014. The transfer of weapons and ammunition from Iran is viewed as a motion of uniformity and a deterrent versus more Russian hostility in the region. Nonetheless, this move has actually raised legal worries due to its prospective violation of recognized United Nations policies. These guidelines aim to advertise international security and stability by requiring nations to either destroy or securely shop confiscated tools. This is meant to avoid the illegal spread of arms and make certain that weapons do not come under the incorrect hands. By destroying tools, countries can get rid of the threat of them being used for unlawful functions. Additionally, firmly keeping such weapons makes sure that they stay under strict control, decreasing the opportunity of diversion to non-state actors or rogue countries. Nevertheless, the choice to transfer Iranian tools and ammo to Ukraine appears to differ this well-known norm. For a number of months, the Biden administration has actually been carefully exploring the legal methods for supplying taken weaponry presently kept in CENTCOM centers distributed throughout the Middle East to the Ukrainian armed forces. Over the past year, the United States Navy, commonly along with regional partner forces, has carried out a series of procedures that have actually resulted in the seizure of countless Iranian-made attack rifles and an amazing haul of over 1 million rounds of ammunition. These actions have actually primarily targeted small stateless vessels that have a well-known history of being involved. Million rounds of ammunition, according to comprehensive reports given by Central Command. Throughout the course of this year, the United States Division of Justice has actually taken crucial activity by filing a minimum of 2 forfeiture grievances concerning seized Iranian ammunition and tools. Along with the first announcement made in March, the DOJ made a considerable disclosure in July. During this announcement, they verified their intent to pursue the forfeiture of a comprehensive collection of weapons that included over 9,000 rifles, 284 Gatling gun, roughly 194 rocket launchers, over 70 anti-tank assisted missiles, and over 700,000 rounds of ammunition. All of these things had actually been confiscated by the United States Navy in operations targeting Iranian origin shipments. Jonathan Lord, a senior other and director of the Middle East Safety and Security Program at the Center for a New American Safety, emphasized that giving various materials for Ukraine's war initiative is crucial, although it may not totally fulfill their army demands. Lord shared his assistance in an op-ed, prompting the United States to send out the confiscated Iranian tools to Ukraine. He additionally highlighted that this activity might potentially influence Iran's partnership with Russia, as Russian pressures have actually been using Iranian UAVs to hurt and eliminate Ukrainian private citizens for more than a year. Lord claimed, "There is poetic justice in Ukraine using Iranian weapons to protect its people against Russia's criminal invasion and misuses. Furthermore, this policy may put better stress on the burgeoning connection in between Moscow and Tehran. The decision can stress the partnership in between Iran and Russia, which have been working together on protection matters in recent months. Iran has been offering Russia drones for its battle in Ukraine, where Russia sustains the separatists combating the Ukrainian federal government. Russia has also been helping Iran with missile and air defense manufacturing as both countries face U.S. assent and stress. The United States hopes that the Iranian tools and ammunition will certainly help to reinforce Ukraine's protection capacities against Russian aggressiveness, as well as send a message to Iran that its attempts to undercut the region will certainly not go unpunished. The United States Navy took the Iranian freight in March as it was on its means to Yemen, where Iran sustains the Houthi rebels who are combating a Saudi coalition. The U.S. takes into consideration the Houthis a terrorist team and has been sustaining the coalition with knowledge and logistics. Nonetheless, the transfer of Iranian tools and ammunition to Ukraine deals with resistance from some members of Congress, especially from the Republican Party. Numerous home Republicans oppose additional help for Ukraine and lately voted to ask Republican Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, charging him of being too soft on Russia and too supportive of Head of State Biden's foreign policy agenda. The Pentagon Comptroller, Mike McCord, has actually sent a memorandum to Congress cautioning that the Protection Division has actually tired all congressionally appropriated funding for the Ukraine Safety and Security Support Campaign and is decreasing the procedure through which it renews U.S. weapons that have actually been transferred to Ukraine. He prompted Congress to approve even more funds for Ukraine ASAP, stating that it is important for the United States' nationwide safety and security rate of interests and local security. What do you think of this? Let us recognize this in the remarks section below.
Thank you, James, for the insightful update. Now, before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to express our appreciation to all our valued viewers. Your support means the world to us, and we're dedicated to bringing you the most important stories each day. To stay connected and never miss out on the latest news, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share Jenny Media. Your engagement is what fuels our commitment to keeping you informed, so let's build an even stronger community together. Thank you for choosing Jenny Media as your source for news and updates.